Hey guys, so as you can tell by the title of this video, this is going to be a comparison video, I guess, slash review, slash kind of first impressions, kind of, and it is a comparison between the Beauty Blender and the Real Techniques sponge. Before I quickly get started, before I get started, I have once purchased one of those really cheap sponges from eBay. That was before I bought any sponges, just to see if I wanted to waste my money really, because I think the Real Techniques one's about £6, which I didn't really want to spend money on if I didn't like sponges, if that makes any sense. But yeah, so I bought that and I felt it and it was way too hard. I didn't even really want to put it on my skin because I just didn't want to irritate it, so I just kind of threw it away. But it only cost me 9p, so that's fine. And then I decided I'm just going to go and buy a sponge anyway a few months later. And if you know me personally, you'll know that literally my makeup brushes are like my world. They are literally my life. Like, you have no idea how excited I get about new makeup brushes and about organising my makeup brushes and cleaning them, and just makeup brushes in general are just great. So for me to stop using brushes on my face is like a big thing. So beauty sponges I would 100% recommend, whether it's the Real Techniques one or the Beauty Blender, but like I said, this is a comparison between them both. So they're all dirty, obviously. Well, not obviously. Well, it's obvious now, but they are all dirty because I've used them all today. Yes, I've used 3 sponges today. There's 2 different sponges here. These are the Real Techniques ones. The reason why they're 2 different sizes is because this one's dry and this one's wet, well, damp still. And then I've got the Beauty Blender. Just so you know, I know this is going to sound really bad, but these are actually more dirty than they look here. I don't know why they look clean, are they? I know they don't look clean, but they look cleaner on the camera than they do in my hand, because these are actually quite gross, which sounds really bad. Okay, so I'm going to start. So this is the Real Techniques sponge dry, completely dry. This has been dry since the last time I used it, which was like a week ago or something. It was exactly a week ago actually. But yeah, so we'll talk about this. So when you put it in the water, obviously at this state, it obviously, like I said, becomes this. And at this state, I guess some people do use them dry, but I would never use them dry because they just soak up way too much product. So I always damp them. And like I say, it goes from this to this, and I don't know if you're going to be able to tell, but literally applying the same amount of pressure on each. This one's more spongy than this one is. I don't know if you can tell. I use as you might be able to see, I use the dry one when it's dry to apply, well, to bake really, to put the powder on. And then obviously I use this one for contour, when I do cream contour, and then I use the Beauty Blender for foundation and whatnot. So as I was saying, so I mean, I do really like this, and if you can't afford a Beauty Blender like I couldn't for ages, then seriously use this. Buy a few of these. These are, like, I've bought 3 of these altogether, because the first one, I think it's because I didn't really store it very well. I just kind of chucked it anywhere in my makeup collection. It like started to get holes in there and they freaked me out because I suffer from trypophobia, which you'll have to Google if you don't understand that. But they started to freak me out because there were holes in it. So I had to throw it away, and then I bought a single one and then I bought a double pack. So I bought a single one, then I threw that one away, then I bought another single one and a double pack, because the double pack I gave one to my friend for Christmas, but I don't know why I'm telling you that. So I've spent quite a lot of money on these sponges already. But like I say, I think the only downfall to these is, I think they're gonna deteriorate. I don't know what the word is. They're gonna basically get destroyed easier than anything else, is because they're not made out of that good of a material. Well, the material's good, but it's obviously not as good as the expensive Beauty Blender, hence the expense. So yeah, like I said, they're pretty spongy, and they apply your makeup flawlessly. Genuinely, they blend out anything. Like, for example, I had you can't really tell, but it had really dark, really dark contour on, and it blended it out to just such a beautiful colour. Just so, oh yeah, I didn't really address this. My hair's pink now. Yeah, so I'm rambling a lot. So yeah, like I say, it's really spongy. You can use it dry, but I wouldn't recommend it. But like I say, the dry ones are good for powder. This, I think one thing that this has that the Beauty Blender doesn't have, which I'm really appreciative of, is this flat side, because as you can see, the Beauty Blender's all around at the bottom and then they both have the point. It has this flat side, which I really enjoy because it's a bigger surface area than just the bottom of this is. So obviously it's like, look, that takes up this much of my face and this only like covers this much, if that makes any sense to you. So this side, this flat side, blends out your foundation quicker, I'd guess, than this one does. Which, like I said, before I bought the Beauty Blender, I did use just this. Like I said before I bought that, so, and I was quite happy with using just this. The point, it's good, like the shape of it's good, it's just more, it needs to be more pointy, like this one, because you can get into like the places quite easily, but it's like right in the corner you can't really get into, whereas you can with this, if that makes any sense. Wow, I look really weird now. But like I said, for a beginner, well, a beginner in sponges, not a beginner in makeup completely, because I'd recommend like brushes for a beginner, but for somebody just starting out using the beauty sponges, I would definitely 100% recommend this, because it's not that expensive. Like for a double pack it was a tenner, and that's not a lot at all, is it? That is literally a £5 a sponge, which for the amount of time you can use them, it's fine. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not that expensive. I've had this one for about 3 months. About 3 months I've had this one. And, like, there's no holes, there's no nothing. Like, it just looks brand new. Well, it doesn't because it's dirty, but it looks brand new. These clean really easily as well. You just clean them I clean it when I clean my brushes, which isn't very often because I don't really wear makeup very often. But basically, wow, this is going to be a really long video. But basically, I soak it all in water and then put some baby shampoo on and then just rub it until it's all like clean, obviously, and then just keep squeezing it in the water until it goes clear, and then it's clean. I'd say I'd leave them overnight to dry, so I wouldn't like clean them the day that you need to use them. If you're going to clean them before you use them, clean them at least the day before, or at least the night before, just because they don't completely go back to being dry for a while. And I was told it's best to air dry them. I don't know. Okay, so that's that. Now the Beauty Blender. This has literally been a lifesaver. Obviously, you see everywhere on YouTube videos, oh, if you can afford it, buy the Beauty Blender. It's like a lot different, blah, 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 you're gonna need it, blah, blah, blah. They don't say blah, 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 I don't think, but, and I'm just like, do I really want to spend that much money on a sponge? Because I think, I'm not sure if I'm right, I'm gonna have to check up the prices and I'll put the right price down below, but I want to say this cost either $20 or $30. Or it might be $25. It's between $20 and $30, I'm pretty sure. Which I don't know what that was in pounds, because obviously I'm in the UK. I bought it off Sephora online because I made an order on Sephora after Christmas, because I get money for Christmas. So, but I'm pretty sure it cost, I want to say $25. But the good thing about that, I've actually left it over there. The good thing about that, it came with a mini solid, you know, a cleaning thing. I've not used that yet, but I want to say something negative, not about the sponge but about the solid, because it comes in a little packet. It's like a little round tube that's like basically a little tiny bit bigger than a dry Beauty Blender, because this is damp, remember, so this is actually smaller when you first get it, if that makes any sense. So it comes in, it's probably about this size actually, the little plastic container. It's a little cylinder container, and at the bottom it has a little mini solid, which is the set that I got. And I'm pretty sure it's the solid, but when I take this sponge out, because it says in the little package to leave this to air dry on top of the container, so then when it dries it like falls back into the container, so it's in there, obviously. I'm pretty sure it's the solid, but when I take this out of the container to use it, it stinks. It smells like lavender, which a lot of people like and I just really hate. But like I said, I'm pretty sure it's the smell of the solid. So I'm not sure if I was to leave this in there, that would also smell. I don't know. Because it genuinely, I hate the smell of lavender. I genuinely hate it. Oh, I just hate the smell of it. But yeah, that's like the only negative thing I've got to say, and that was about the solid and not this. So like I said, again, oh, I didn't say it, did I? I feel that this is spongier, and the only way I'm going to be able to explain it to you is through food, okay? Bear with me here. I'm aware this has already been 10 minutes long, but bear with me. So when you bake a cake, if you have a close crumb, which are like really tiny crumbs and they're like, say, they're packed together, this is this one. It's still spongy, but it's not as spongy. But then when you have lots of air in your cake, when you have lots of air in your cake, it becomes really spongy and soft, which is this one. So any of you bakers out there, you'll understand what I'm saying, but if you don't bake, then you won't really understand. But it's like they're both really soft, but I feel like this one is softer than this one, which is what I really need sometimes, but sometimes I'm fine using this one, if that makes sense. Like I said, I use them both anyway, because I use this for contour and highlight, and I use this for foundation and concealer. The reason why I chose those jobs for each one is because, well, this one I just had to hand really for the contour, and I didn't want to use the same for contour as I did for foundation, purely because of like the colour payoff and stuff like that, because obviously my contour's darker than my actual foundation is. But yeah, so I use, like I say, the pointy bit for the concealer. I'm glad this is nearly dry because I'm putting it on my face, for the concealer, and it gets like in all of those places that you really need it to, like all those little tiny nooks and crannies. Yeah, there's like nothing else I can really say. Like I say, the only thing where this one betters is this bit, and then this one's got a better point on. Like I said, I recommend them both to you. If you can afford this one, go for this one, but if you can't, then there's no problem using this one. I'm pretty sure you'll love it. I'm not sure how this one cleans yet, because I've not cleaned it. I've only ever used it twice, which is why this is a kind of first impressions too. But I've only used this one twice, which is kind of unbelievable to say how dirty it is, but I use a lot of makeup when I use it. But yeah, so like I said, I recommend either or both. Like I said, I use both. Yeah, it's a bit, unnecessary to have 3 like I do, but I just do. But yeah, there's nothing else I can really say. Just buy one. I promise you, 99% of you will not be disappointed. Some of you will just be against sponges completely, but for a lot of you, you will give up your brush, I promise. I promise you will give up your brush. Genuinely though, these are both really great for different reasons. So if I was going to rate them out of 10, I'm going to quickly finish the video in a second, but if I was going to rate them out of 10, I'd rate this one a 7 and this one an 8. No, this one a 9. No, this one an 8 and this one a 9. I don't ever rate things 10 unless I think they're genuinely perfection. But yeah, so there's nothing else I can really say about this, but there you go. That's what I recommend. So they're both pretty great, but this one's just a little bit more greater, if that makes any sense. Anyway, thanks for watching if you did, and if you didn't, then you didn't see this anyway. Thanks for watching. Bye.